guys, it's Andrew here from Eastonmade Wood Splitters today, and welcome back to the Eastonmade channel. I am out here in the wood yard with something that has been highly anticipated by a lot of people. This is a fully electric 48Z firewood processor. This thing's really cool, guys. Besides the saw and the conveyor, it really doesn't make much of a noise. It's pretty cool to see this thing run. And it runs well, guys. Like, it's there's a handful of advantages of an electric firewood processor that I'm gonna go over with you here and kind of explain to you why somebody would want to do this and what it would cost to do something like this. The big reason somebody would want to do this is for the fuel savings. You're gonna be a lot less money to run something electric than it is going to be to run it with a combustion or with a fossil fuel. It's going to be significantly less expensive. But how much less expensive is it going to be? Is it going to be worth it for you to do this? Well, guys, I got my handy paper out here, my graph paper here, and I put some pen to paper, and I'll show you exactly what this is. I based this off of US national averages for diesel fuel and for industrial hydro, because I know I'm gonna have normally residential rates are going to be more expensive, where industrial rates on hydro are going to be less expensive. So guys, I based this off the US national average. I have pulled this off of Google just 5 minutes ago. So if you're wondering if the fuel price is a little bit higher or lower than your area, that's, again, it's US national average. So here we go, guys. So this thing is going to burn about 38 kilowatts an hour. The US national average on industrial hydro is 7 cents a kilowatt. That's $2.68 in fuel that this thing is going to cost you per hour. With the Kubota, you're going to burn probably 3.5 gallons an hour. You're going to average that, I would say, most days. The US national average is $4.18. That works out to $14.64 an hour to run this. So your daily savings is going to be $95.68. Your weekly savings is going to be $478. And your monthly savings is going to be $1,913. That is, if you're looking at one of these machines, that's half the payment on one of these things. That's a pretty substantial savings. You're looking at $24,000 a year in savings. So if you are a large scale firewood producer, that's kind of what you can expect to save, is that you can save $24,000 a year by going with this electric setup. That being said, guys, there is going to be a cost to doing this. I'm going to try and be as unbiased as I possibly can here. For us to do this, we can see that we're actually running this on a gen set right now, which, again, a lot of guys, if you're in a rural area, you have a sawmill set up, you're probably going to have a big gen set. However, for me to run cable across the shop there over to here, hook it all up, do all that stuff, it made absolutely no sense. And I'm going to credit Dave Ireton for pricing this out and saying that he does not want to do that because he does not want me to spend that much money on this, especially if I'm going to be expanding the shop. The shop's going to come this way, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense to dig up my pad and dig a trench and put a house out here, sort of thing. Doing that for the cable to run out here was 15 grand. Because in Canada, where we are, it has to be done in copper. To run it that far to where we need it to be, it was going to be 15 grand just for the cable to do this. Depending on your area, if you have a buddy that's an electrician, if you have resources like that, you could probably get this done a whole lot cheaper, guys. Again, this is gonna be a situation dependent thing on whether or not this makes sense to you or not. And again, it's gonna be your choice, guys. But those are the numbers I've come up with. We tested the motor here to see what it draws. It draws 38 kilowatts an hour. It's gonna be pretty consistent on that. It obviously bounces around a wee bit with all the functions of the machine running and all that kind of stuff. The nice thing about this setup too is we're actually running this on a soft start. We're not running this on a VFD. The other manufacturers you'll see running on a VFD, so they're a lot more sensitive to voltage spikes, voltage regulations. Like if there is an up and down, they don't work very well. That's why it's been 2 weeks to to get you this video, because we've been screwing with it. And we've ended up going with a soft start. It runs fine, honestly. It runs great with a soft start in it. The way that we have the machine set up with the heater valve in it, you don't really need to worry about the hydraulic oil. Like if you've watched our other videos, there's actually a valve in here. You flip that valve, leave it on while the machine's running for 10-15 minutes, and your hydraulic oil is up to temperature. So it has its own built-in temperature regulation for the hydraulic oil, and that would be the only reason I could see why you would want to run variable frequency drive on it. So what the variable frequency drive does is it allows you to run the motor at 1100 or whatever. What you can run a lower RPM or a higher RPM. This is just a lot simpler. It's a lot easier. You just hit the go button and away you go. And that is the other reason why you may want this. You don't need to worry about diesel gelling up. You don't need to worry about injectors. You don't need to worry about oil changes. You don't need to worry about fan belts. There's an internal combustion engine, there's a lot to go wrong with it. Where with this, you literally hit the button and it goes. And if you've been around any kind of industrial equipment, motors last a long time, especially in an application like this where there's not a big, this is a pretty steady, consistent load on this. It's not like a crusher where it's going to be banging all the time. Again, pretty steady, consistent load on it. Anyways, guys, that's the information I've got for you. Stay tuned for the next video, because the next video is going to be one that a lot of people are going to want to see. I'm going to try and do it here in a couple of minutes, so that'll be probably next week or a couple of days from now. We have this one log on here, this piece of oak, and you can see it's got an awful wow to it. Because a lot of people seem to think that something with a chain and feet on that will not do crooked wood. I guarantee you this will do crooked wood without too much of an issue. There's one on the infeed there that'll have no problem going through there. So again, if you're looking at these commercial processors, this is stuff to look at, guys. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button on the bottom. I really hope to see you on the next one, and I appreciate all your support. Thanks a lot, guys.